Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome to a new edition of Inside the PFL. I am your host, Drac, and I am joined by a new co host today. It is Murphy.
Heyo.
How is it going? Are you excited to watch these
I'm
three battles?
very, very excited to watch these battles. We had some heaters this week. We really did.
Yeah, we sure did. Like I said, we are covering the three matches that happened off stream. We have the 700 Club, who I'm sure a lot of people can guess based on the thumbnail, but that's a good thing. And we've got a ton of trades and pickups to cover, as well as predictions for the upcoming Conference Cup week. That's right, this week is the finale of the Conference Cup. Ooh, baby.
Looking forward to it. My divisions, I believe, we're trailing for second right now.
We are in third, but it's a tight third.
Third. Oof. Alrighty, we gotta close that.
We sure do. But we'll get to there when we get there. Without further ado, let's go over to the battles. So the first one we're going to watch, James against Thomas. I will give this one a play. We cannot look at a James match without talking about his big ol' 800 club. Jirachi, Lando, Mega Venusaur, and Clefable.
And what a monster core it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genuinely. I mean, he's pretty much built an OU team
Pretty
here.
much. I mean, the core of just Clefable, Jirachi, and Mega Venusaur resists everything, and they're all individually very bulky. I love this Trick Room, by the way. Trick Room
Trick
Jirachi.
Room is amazing. Jirachi can just do anything you want it to do. It's such a great filler mon on any team. It
Right,
can
he
do whatever
gets
you want it to do.
gets rocks, gets pivot, it gets both Future
It's
Sight and Doom Desire, which are hilarious.
it's
It can,
pretty much every status.
yeah, with 100 base across every stat. Hello.
It's hysterical. And you can run it as a sweeper if you want to.
Yeah,
Just
of
power
course.
flinch people to death.
I mean, it's a great like weakness policy user as well because it's naturally bulky. I like what Gengar's putting out right now. This nasty plot to take care of Venusaur.
Pretty bold, especially knowing that it gets the earth power, but with the psychic, like I loved it.
Yeah, yeah, that was great. Um, it does now. Okay, so that's obviously Scarflando, right? Because it hit U-turn.
Clearly.
In James's position, I'm not sure why he wouldn't just hit Earthquake there. Like
You know you're faster. You
right?
saw the nasty plot come out.
I guess he just predicted that Thomas was going to swap to one of his levitators, and
I
he's like, "I'll get
guess.
ahead of it." Yeah, okay, because I guess U-turn is super effective against Claydol and Hydreigon.
Mhm. In Thomas's position, I'd never switch there though.
I think I agree though. But I think as we're about to find out is that Thomas doesn't have a great answer to Clefable because Gengar is
Uh,
really the only thing that hits it super effective.
the only thing that hits it super effective, and even then, without a plot, it wasn't really gonna break Clefable, just with
Yeah, like
how
Sludge Wave probably
massive it
wasn't going to
is.
one hit Clefable, but now,
And then you see this set come out, and it's really just disgusting.
yep, nobody likes to be on the receiving end of this cosmic power set.
And
Oh man, the flip turn's only doing 20. Liquidation did
Liquidation
26.
did 26.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Now you're wishing you brought Band or something.
Yeah, even
Even
banned,
then,
I
you're
don't
not
think.
breaking.
Right. You maybe could have done it if it was only at +1.
hmm
S-
Just ugh, the
Yeah,
stored powers.
it's pretty disgusting.
I
And
do I do love the strange steam ring. I love that move so much.
yeah, that's its personal move, like 20% chance to confuse, right? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, fantastic move.
Yeah, unfortunately, even if it had brought a stab poison move for Clefable, it's not breaking
It
it down,
wouldn't have
especially
been
at
doing much
3x.
at all. Yeah, and then
Like this flash cannon from
as much as
Hydreigon.
confusion's great, like with the confusion nerf, it's not. the best status. It's not reliable.
Right. It's no longer a 50-50, it's only a 1/3, which is a lot better for the game because confusion is like extremely polarizing if it procs on a turn.
I agree.
But yeah, now Clefable is just going to slowly chip away, quite literally the death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah, and like you see,
I
like
mean, we're
Thomas
just
had a
seeing it.
really good team for this, but like just nothing for Clefable outside the Gengar.
Right, and that pretty much proves to be his undoing, as we're seeing Clefable just, yeah, I'm just going to sit on you.
And I kind of want to pull up Thomas's roster right now because
You
I'm
know,
not sure what else he has sitting with
something
like.
that could have really put a damper on this plan is if Claydol had rest. If Claydol had packed rest, we saw the
Hmm,
like max base power, what's it called? Cosmic power wasn't really putting that much of a dent in it. And you maybe could have PP stalled it out.
that could have been interesting to see.
But I
I'm not
mean,
sure.
how do you prep for this exact
Yeah,
set?
exactly. And I really don't see much in Mancini's roster outside Gengar that handles Clefable.
Right. If your best bet is like getting a good predict or already be set up, because this is obviously not an unaware set, right? So if you had gotten, say, the Swords Dance off with Pinsir, those returns would have hurt real bad.
Mhm. And it's just like Clefable loves to be in the neutral game.
Oh yeah. Um, Not a lot switches into Clefable. It's also an extremely strong pivoter. Like definitely worth 200 points.
Absolutely, I really considered it this season.
It's just a brutal +4.
It's just yeah, it really is, and there's not much else to say about it other than like, god damn, you hate to see the Clefable set pop off.
And Thomas didn't even get a lucky crit at all in there.
No.
Like maybe crit liquidation could have done it.
Crit Liquidation, I think definitely would have broken. Probably would have done like a nice 60.
Yeah. How boosted up was it when we saw it hit that like
I think
26% liquidation a
oh, it
while
might have been
ago?
2x on the
Yeah, it was
26%.
just 2x. Yeah, so like a crit there could have made a difference.
Yeah, that
Right, so it's
might have rolled
basically
something around
doing,
like high 70s.
yeah, so like it's doing 3 times this damage. Yeah,
Hmm.
so 75-ish. It wouldn't have killed there, but it could have potentially put it
Done
in
enough to
range of the
make a
next one.
difference. Yeah. Then you don't have the flip turn out. You can just try to click another one.
Right, and at that point, nothing really swapped into the liquidations. Like even with the
No.
Intim, Lando doesn't want it. Ah, there was a crit on Strange Steam that did about 35. Yeah, like that completely like passed
Yeah.
out of my periphery because who's who's really thinking that G Weezing is standing a chance once it's already set up, especially when he revealed it didn't have a poison move.
Yeah, and even if it did, like G-Weezing, not the biggest mon offensively.
Right. But hey, James did what he needed to do to get that W.
Yeah, definitely got the dub, definitely got it done.
And it's a strong +4 for the Conference Cup.
Very strong +4 in a Conference Cup week.
So congratulations to him. Moving on to the next battle. But before we start, I'm going to message our battlers for the 700 Club that we are like 2 battles away.
Like goes crazy in the
There we
background because I'm
go.
supposed to be walking him right now.
Oh, yep. Pups do not like to be left like that. So, next match, we got Nigeria against Kyle. Give this one a play. So, obviously, Megazard X is a huge issue for any team. And we see Kyle brought both his big birds.
Both the big birds came. Corviknight
Corviknight getting
doesn't
chunked
really
like that is
want
huge.
this. It's massive, especially from the taboo. Like you kind of think like, oh, my steel type's gonna be great here. And bam, you get T-bolted, get chunked down like that.
Right, and that's pretty big for Nigeria because now like Zard can just outrage it or Dragon Cloud probably.
Yeah,
Um
and
okay, so that interaction was a little bit weird, kind of an uncharacteristic. I don't know if mistake is the right word, but uncharacteristic play from Kyle because we saw, okay,
you see the
obviously
plot.
obviously since the plot you see it's
You know it's
Zoroark,
Zoroark.
right? And honestly, in Nigeria's position, letting Mamoswine go is not that bad of a play. Like maybe you could have gone into Florges, but
It's
no
not the
matter.
worst loss for him in this matchup.
Right. But the follow up of Kyle not realizing that it was a Scarf Buzzwole is a little bit
Like
odd.
I think maybe you think he's bluffing,
Yeah, but in that position, you can't
but
really
like
bluff in that
even
position though. It's
then,
already set
yeah,
up.
exactly.
But I mean, hey, it works out, so
I
good
mean,
for Nigeria.
it was a good trade getting Mamo out of the way. It was one of his tankier Mons. I won't say good trade, but like it was
Well,
questionable. But like,
Lantern does have free reign to Volt Switch all over the place now,
yeah,
but getting chunked by that Moonblast is pretty bad. Oop, no burn on the Scald. That's pretty important.
no burn on the Scald. Tapu Fini's just been really chunking.
Yeah, and there's not a ton of mons that switch into Buzzwole at this point. Right, because Mandibuzz almost has to come in clean because you don't want two potentially CCs.
No, you don't, because it's as wonderful as Mandibuzz is. It doesn't want the neutral CC twice in a row.
Right, especially after potentially like boosting. Well, I mean, I guess it's already locked at that
It
point,
was
right?
already, yeah, it would be locked at that point. And that is just a massive try attack. I remember that shocked the shit out of me.
Dude, adaptability Life Orb is no joke. And Kyle's saying he didn't think he'd stay in, so he thought that the Mach Punch threaten would be enough, and he went for a read, and unfortunately it didn't work out. Nigeria just
Yeah,
capitalizes, and now there's just nothing. There's just nothing for PZ.
there's the Scald Burn, not when you want it, never when you want it.
I love the Sucker Punch on Lantern. That's pretty heat.
Interesting. I wasn't aware that it got Sucker Punch.
I think I remember seeing it when like it didn't shock me in the sense that like whoa Lantern gets that. I was like oh yeah that's pretty sick tech. Because I had a
Yeah, I
proof of
was
Kyle
like,
earlier
oh
this season,
damn.
and I'm pretty sure that's just there for potentially like picking off Charizard X when it's low.
And then the Scald Burn coming in, making it a +4.
Yeah, instead of a +5. Quite a handy victory.
Very, very handy. Just well played by Nigeria the whole way through.
Yeah, it really seemed like Kyle was not prepared for that amount of early offense.
Yeah, and just chunking that much in the early game really gave him the controlling position, and the
Right.
match pretty much felt like in Nigeria's control the whole time.
Pretty much like ever since Corviknight getting low, that's a Buzzwole check just down. So
Yeah.
then we got to see PZ just coming in, click those hot adaptability Life Orb tri attacks with a plot to back it up.
With a plot. Absolutely gnarly.
Those are just insane multipliers. How much was that tri attack doing? It's based like 80, right? So 80.
I
so
thought it was based
160 with
90.
it. Ooh, is it? This is a question for Smogon.
Base 80.
Okay, it's 80. So with adaptability, that's 160. With Life Orb, that's another 48, right? So like 208 already.
And then double
that's
it from
that's
the
before
plot.
the plot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like a super Z move at this point. Whew. Ooh,
Beautifully played from Nigeria.
So then, let's get over to the last battle. We've got Dave against Hunter. This was a really fun match to watch.
This was a fun match to watch. Let's just let it play out. I was a fan of this one.
Yeah, this lead with Heatran's pretty good because you got the option to potentially get rocks out,
You've got the
whatever.
Protect to Scout. You've got the Flame Body to potentially proc if you brought it.
Unfortunately, no proc on the Flame Bodies. A little bit unlucky from his point of view. I love the Magma Storm to trap Chansey.
Are we sure that he brought the flame body? Was it not flash fire? I forget.
Uh, I guess it could be Flash Fire to swap into Houndoom occasionally.
Hmm.
But I imagine Flame Body with this bulkier set is more preferable, especially with your
The
only
Mist
attacking move being...
T-Wave coming out.
Yeah, that Mist T-Wave was... I'm going to go back to... so we can highlight that. But that Mist T-Wave was a little bit shocking. Just because I was expecting the taunt there because, well,
I was
spoilers, we were
also
talking
expecting,
about
yeah.
sets and stuff in our Fortress Lounge. I was expecting the immediate taunt and then either teleport or something to fizzle and then you throw out rocks, but I mean, Mist works just as well. Why not?
And so now you've got the trapped Chansey. Now you've taunted it. You locked it down to essentially seismic toss.
Right. And with the leftovers we've already seen revealed, you can just wait it out with protects. But
Yeah, I was
he
I was
just
it was
switches.
very interested as to why he switched here.
Right. That seemed like a really good opportunity to basically keep Chansey dead because with the amount of HP it had, and with the faster taunt, like it can't touch Heatran. So
Even if you just leave it for 3 more turns, you get 2 protects in, you eat 1 seismic toss. You've got the
yeah.
leftovers.
And with this rocks damage we see, that could have been potentially another, 12% off HP, and then
Hmm.
now it super does not eat anything, even special, even with the Eviolite. But I mean, it does get the Eviolite off. Like Dave is still in a really good position here.
A very good position. You see the TP. I think um very
Yeah.
good switches on Hunter's side as far as predicting moves from Dave.
Yeah.
I think we see that a little bit later in the battle, but he was pretty
But
good at playing around the Zero Aura.
mm-hmm. And okay, taunt here. That's fine. I guess you're not giving Houndoom Flash Fire, so that's pretty nice.
No flash fire. You're locking out the potential nasty plot, which is decent.
Right.
And
Ooh,
then
but
I think
this...
you think this is a better switch in than it was. I think I'm not sure if he ran a calc there.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I mean, not a lot wants the Dark Pulse, to be honest. So it's
Yeah, and
it's
I
tough
guess
because well,
it's better than swapping in one of your heavier hitters. You
true.
want them to come in clean.
Grass Knot. So he had Grass Knot earlier. So
And
when we had just Chansey against Zero Aura, I'm surprised he didn't just go for the hard read
And
because
so
at that
I
point,
think this was the couple of reads I was talking about. Knew the grass knot was coming for the Mudstale, and then absolutely knew the Plasma Fist was coming on the second turn because you're never
right,
clicking the same move twice.
right. I'm just a little bit shocked that Dave didn't go for that read earlier, is all.
Yeah,
But I mean, he takes care of Mudsteel regardless.
you get rid of it.
He's taking a lot of
Get
chip
the
though.
toxic. His team's just getting chipped all around, and I think that's what leads to the end of this battle.
Right, because something we're gonna start to see is like Urshifu, Staraptor, and even Comfey to a certain extent uh put some major dents in this lineup of Dave's. Like, okay, Chansey's not surviving the Sludge Wave.
Hmm.
Even with the Eviolite, just 2 Sludge Waves would have
It
taken
would
care
not.
of it.
Yeah, absolutely. What I love Dave's team. What I dislike about Dave's team is that this week and a lot of weeks you see his only removal option is Pidgeot.
Yeah, that's something I definitely
And when
noticed
you're
when prepping for him.
locked into the Mega, you can't have boots.
Yep.
You're taking that chip. So like Mega Pidgeot, great mon, but I think you really need other removal options because you see that Dave is just very susceptible to the chip that's coming out.
Yeah, I think I agree. That's definitely something I noticed when I was prepping for him as well. That like if I just get rocks out, it one makes like all the ranges for everybody else much more generous, and he has a tough time getting rid of them.
Hmm. I think both of my games against Dave, I was happy to sack Nidoking just to get rocks out.
Yeah, because I mean, he's got a lot of stuff that really does not appreciate chip. That Destiny Bond is pretty big because
I love that Houndoom gets Destiny Bond. I love when mons that aren't Bayonet run Destiny Bond.
it's a great fourth move for him too because he doesn't get a ton in the way of coverage. And
Yeah, he's not
pretty bulky.
super heavy on the fourth move syndrome.
Yeah, we're
Because
seeing
like you get your plot, you get Earth Substitute, you get your Fire Blast and your Dark Pulse, and then he really doesn't get much else.
It gets like Sludge Bomb, and that's about it.
Sludge Bomb, which you're hitting grasses, which you already hit super effective, and
It's pretty much just for fairies.
But like at that point, I'd probably rather click the Stab Fire Blast anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably more prudent a lot of the time. But okay, it's a pretty precarious situation, and not a lot of mons left on the field.
And then all right, yeah, so Pidgeot's come in and it takes the chip, and then bam. I don't know if it would have lived that from full.
Yeah, it's tough to say, especially without the Mega.
It's very frail mon, but
and
definitely would have been.
This scenario is something like this is where you use your time when you're in the battle, just for future players. When you've got time on the clock, it's situations like this where you're unsure of how it's going to turn out, where you gotta really think about your opponent's win con and how do you play against it. Because in this scenario, Star Raptor is forced to click the flying move, right? Because it's gonna KO with the Scarf. You're assuming it's Scarf. It's gonna knock out Zeraora for sure with only 22 left, and then Tangrowth
has to be able to kill Tangrowth.
It has to be able to kill Tangrowth, right? So at this point, you pretty much have to swap out of Zeraora and go into Tangrowth, right? Because you're assuming it's Brave Bird. If it's dual wing beat, you just lose. Like there's not really a way around it. So
you need the Tangrowth to come in, get the regen, maybe live, but if you don't, you're getting all of that recoil damage.
Exactly. And I think Dave just missed his potential win con. He could have sort of swindled a +1 out of this if he had sacked Tangrowth immediately here.
Yeah, and I think sacking Tangrowth, Star Raptor would have just died on impact.
Right. But Hunter gets a +0 out of that, which is
+0,
hilarious.
Another +0 for the season. Is that 2 or 3
+0 last week, and he won +0 this week. Pretty crazy.
Does that bring us to 2 or 3 in the season?
It brings us to 3 in this season because Jim also won +0 this week.
Hope we're pushing the record for +0s.
I mean, we had our first +0 ever like 2 seasons ago.
Oh, beautiful.
And it was on. I think it was a Mega Bennett Destiny Bond kill as well. So, I mean, obviously the Mega Bennett pilot lost
cringe.
there, but
I think whoever pilots, like, you deserve to lose. You deserve
hate
it.
Mega Bennett. I mean,
I hate. It's just it's not even that unfair. It's just unfun.
Yeah, it's unfun to prep for, unfun to play against. It's basically what I think about Ditto.
Yeah,
it's Ditto
just at least before. Like I don't know.
We can get into it another time.
We can get into it another time. Yeah.
What we are about to get into right now, though, is drumroll, please. The 700 Club, hooray! And this week, our 700 Club pilot is Nigeria, and they have Zacian, regular ass Zacian.
Regular ass Zacian in his one and only 700 Club appearance.
Mike piloted it the first season of Sword and Shield when it came out.
Second and last.
Yeah, second and
700 Club appearance.
This is going to be the second and last appearance of Zacian because what we found out is that Zacian is hella banned from Ubers.
Both crowned and normal ass Zacian.
Yes, and both normal ass Zacian. We found this out after, by the way.
After the team had already been built.
So we said, like, all right, you're not going to be able to use crowned. We told this to Nigeria. Not going to be able to use crowned. Only regular ass Zacian. Because it turns out that automatic +1 attack is
I hope it's banded and it's just exactly the same as crowned.
But anyway, so the 11 40-point mon, or the 10 40-point mons that Nigeria has chosen are Pyukamuku, Togedemaru, Kadabra, the mini Suncore of Vulpix and Victory Bell,
Love
Kingler,
it.
Leavanny, Behem, Furfuro,
My
another Murphy
boy,
favorite,
my absolute boy.
and Malamar.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Does Leavanny also get chlorophyll?
I believe Leavanny does get chlorophyll actually. And Nigeria is offline on Showdown. Uh-oh. Well, let's...
PFL Classic.
Nigeria is online. I'm going to message Nigeria. Give him a little hello. Why not?
Little hey, how are you? Is our
Okay,
oh,
Nigeria's
there
on
he
the way.
is. And is our challenger ready?
Yes, Lebo is ready as well. So as soon as they are up, we will see them. I'm super excited to see if this Suncore turns into anything because, I mean, just bringing Vulpix is pretty hype.
Bringing Vulpix is so hype. I love to see my boy Furfro drafted. It's drafted on, I feel, most 700 club rosters. It's just a very good tier 5 in my opinion.
Yeah, it does one thing and it does it well. It sets sun and fucking dies. It also is worth noting that Zacian gets Solar Blade, so Victory Bell's not the only one with sun shenanigans.
Lovely.
So this could turn very interesting. They're still not up. Kadabra is also a pretty solid tier 5 as well because it can do the Zam thing as well.
It can do the Zam thing. It's just like a little bit lower in the stats.
Right. 105 is not the greatest speed tier, even though it's fast.
I think Behem's a really solid tier 5 psychic.
Yeah.
Kind of overlooked.
It gets access to Trick Room, right?
It does.
Yeah, so that could be a pretty interesting breaker. You just survive one hit, Trick Room, and just start slamming stuff.
And then you have Kingler in the back, and Malamar.
Yeah, they're pretty great tier 5s, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, no, he's definitely built an interesting team, and then Pyukumuku's always terrifying.
Yeah, Pyukumuku, it's obviously never going to hit an attacking move because it gets access to none. But, I mean, it can take people down with it.
Does it not get scald?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, lovely.
Sets sun and dies. Yeah, exactly, Dave. They are still not up. Is Nigeria even online? Let me see. Nigeria was talking in our Discord chat. Yes, Nigeria's hurrying up.
He better be hurrying up.
Well, before that, let's just take a look at the standings real quick then.
Sure
While we're waiting. So, these are the standings of each of the division. I have actually clinched the Fortress division. 6-1 plus 24.
Commanding lead.
Yeah, dude. Even if Bick gets 2 plus 6s and I drop both my next games, I'm still gonna be in the lead, which is I don't remember anybody being like 2 weeks to spare and still like
2 weeks to spare and that far ahead in their division. Right. I don't remember it.
So I'm obviously very happy with that. A lot of stress off my chest for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much having a guaranteed playoff spot at week 8 is very nice.
I'm a fan. In the Magnezone division, though, we got a tight climb for the first place with Lebo and Tristan, both 4 and 3, but Lebo is edging out Tristan with 3 more plus.
Edging.
Hehe. Hunter also could definitely...
Hunter also in position to take the lead with like a commanding +6.
Right, if he gets a really good game this week and Tristan and Lebo both drop their Conference Cup games, like Hunter could be in a position to take the division for the final week of the season. But in the Metagross division, Manny pretty firmly in the lead with 5 and 2 plus 3. He basically
needing some big wins.
Yeah, Kyle definitely needs some big wins. Oh, they are up. So we're going to finish talking about this real quick. Then we'll be over to the battle window. LCD and Jim, super close race for the top. Dylan also right on their damn heels.
Also right there, yeah.
And in the Steelix division, Jack with the commanding lead over his division. James can still come back with 2+6s and Jack dropping both, but Jack is basically locked up the division.
Very, very close to being in the position you're in.
Any one win of the next 2 weeks will keep Jack at the top, and
Yeah.
James has to play out of his dang mind.
James would have to be absolutely cracked, which I've seen from him. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, he definitely could do it. But we will head over to the 700 Club, as I'm sure you can hear. We got some stuff going on now. So, let us look at this 700 Club. I love this Furfro outfit. I didn't know that was a thing.
I am not a fan. I will say, in my book, cardinal sin to run any Furfro that's not the Pharaoh.
Okay, fair enough. 700 Club team. We've got Zacian, Kadabra, Furfro, Malamar, Behem, and Kingler. So
interesting. No sun, none of the sun core shenanigans, but
none of the
potential
sun,
trick room.
and 3 psychic types.
3 psychic types, potential trick room coming out. Lebo's only.
Well, let's talk about Lebo's team.
Yeah.
So the 700 Club Challenger, you got that big tank core of Gliscor and Slow King. I almost said Slowbro. Escavalier, also quite big. Greninja, obviously a big heavy hitter. Silvally, question mark. We don't know what it is. And we got Licky Licky for wish support. So we've got basically 3 tanks, 4 or 5 depending on how Silvally and Escav are built. And then
I'll be
Greninja.
interested to see which type Silvally is. Potentially.
Yeah, this is looking at the lineup. It's probably an offensive Silvally, but
I would
find
assume looking at the roster that was drafted like Fire or something that would be decent against Psychic. I would hope something would be decent against Psychic. Lebo's been a fan of Steel and Fairy this season.
Yeah,
I think that's just been with his matchups. They've been very solid and consistent.
Right. Those are just strong types on their own as well. I'm gonna give them the go for boys. So we will very shortly find out what Silvally this is.
Escav and Greninja looking like his only real answers to the big psychics.
Yeah, I mean AV Escav is obviously so
Huge.
good against the psychics because it gets pursuit. I love
And if
running
there
AV
is
Escav
Trick
when I
Room
have it.
coming out, Escav's gonna love it.
Ooh, okay. I mean, I view this as a pretty easy Earthquake on Lebo's end because you don't want to potentially give Kadabra a free.
You don't want to give it a free plot. You don't want to give it a free turn setup.
Right. Or actually, honestly, even U-turn.
U-turn. Yep. Okay, so there it is. And the sash.
Oh, wait, it's faster. Hello?
Is screens happening? Or is this a trick room?
This is probably a trick room then, yeah. Oh!
Wow.
Oh.
Is that lagging tail counter? Oh no,
No,
that's
that was
sash.
sash.
Counter.
That's why he
gotta
went
be like
second, 'cause he
zero
went counter.
That's gonna be like 0 speed.
No, it's just he went second because counter.
Oh, true. Is there a negative priority on that? That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that goes extremely last. So that's a
Changes
big,
things.
yeah, that's a really big dent in the psychic answers.
Yeah.
Oh well, okay, yeah. Now Kadabra's just super dead.
Which I think is acceptable.
You
It
probably
did what
just
it needed to
U-turn.
do.
Yeah, you turn into Gliscor probably and get rocks out.
Right. Yeah, right back into Gliscor, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, either Gliscor or Slowking I think is fine.
Gliscor is inviting the Kingler in.
Yeah, that's
But
the
at
only
least you
issue
get
with that.
at least you're getting your toxic off now.
Well, I mean, depending on the Kingler set with
I
like a sheer
don't
force
think it
life
saves
orb.
you from a fucking crab hammer or something, but
Right. Or well, I think you run liquidation with sheer force.
oh yeah.
Like a sheer force life orb liquidation probably kills Gliscor.
Show me hypercutter crab hammer.
why hypercutter?
Because it's a terrible ability. It's useless.
I mean, it makes you immune to Intim, right?
Is it immune to Intim?
Oh, agility. I like that.
I love Kingler so much.
I think it's hypercutter stops your attack from being lowered.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, that definitely seems like Life Orb Sheer Force.
Alright, getting the other agility off, staying
Okay.
faster.
Lebo not blinking at all. Probably about to teleport out this turn into
Yeah,
Greninja.
and something that solves Malamar, I would hope, because you just invited that in with the Future Sight.
Right. I mean, this is a really good turn to TP if you're Slowking.
Yeah.
Because you already know that the Liquidation's not going to kill. It's already got a Parachance. If it doesn't switch out, it's getting Future Sighted.
Yeah, no, definitely a great turn to pivot out.
They got the timer on, that's always great. I don't think we've had any issues with slow play on the, inside the PFL for 700.
I haven't really noticed any really across the board this season.
Oh, okay. Colbur knockoff.
Okay.
Yeah, Life Orb, okay. So now, is Greninja faster?
Oh. It took Life Orb damage, it's not Sheer Force.
So Valley Poison, okay.
That's gotta be Shell Armor or Hyper Cutter by mistake.
Well, I mean, knockoff doesn't have the percentage chance associated with it.
Ah,
Because otherwise
true.
we would have seen the Life Orb on Liquidation. So we know it's Sheer Force now. Liquidation, that hurts, yeah.
Big.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know, the Future Sight cleans it.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
that's not a bad trade. I mean, one less answer for Gliscor. Or one less threat to Gliscor, that is.
And now a Scary Dog comes in. A lot of dogs on this team.
Firefang, okay. That makes sense. I mean, you could have hit anything there, really.
Genuinely. Makes sense for knowing the Escabs there, though. Or knowing the Escab was coming.
I mean, you don't have
I
anybody
think
but Gliscor, right?
is, yeah, probably the only thing that can.
Okay.
Okay.
Potential explosion? That could be fun, although it probably doesn't kill. I mean, this dog is stupid fat.
Maybe?
Ooh, T-Wave would be really good. We already saw the T-Wave on Slowking. Might be
So
one of
many
his only
people,
bets.
a lot of people running multiple T-Waves this season.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Going for the SD,
Ooh.
going for the Nah. Lumberry, alright.
Ooh, this is a problem.
This is now a very big problem, yep. It's now nothing, including that Glisk, wants the CC.
Right. I mean, it's the Play Rough. Play Rough is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Ooh. Is Sation about to win? Are we gonna see why this stupid dog is
I think
banned
we're about
from
to see
Ubers?
why this dog's banned from Ubers.
Full D Gliscor might live. Might live a Play Rough. Might.
Big might.
Ooh, okay.
Love it.
Oh, wait, why not EQ? It's at
Oh.
minus defense.
Oh, I think he just thought it was dying.
Oh, no. Can you stall this out somehow? With, like, Protect? Okay.
And now you've got to go into Slowking, I think.
Yeah, you have to let Slowking go. I don't see any other way around. Yeah. Okay, now
This gives you
Greninja.
either Greninja
It's
or
gotta be
one
Scarf Greninja,
more
though.
Protect
otherwise
turn.
it's slower. Now just send in Gliscor and bluff like you're scarfed. That's your only way. That's the only way you're winning right now. Oh no, he's thinking. Oh no, it might not be scarfed.
Oh no. This stupid dog.
Stupid dog. Absolutely absurd stat total.
All it takes is one turn. One turn setup, and the game's over.
Okay, he does switch out. Gunk shot.
Gunk shot.
Oh, hey, there's that fur coat.
And there's my boy Furfro doing his Furfro thing.
Gliscor. T-Wave. Okay.
T-Wave. Alright.
Okay, Gliscor's back in this. I can pretty comfortably roost.
I think you just go for the EQ, knowing you get the
I think you
Toxic Heal.
roost. Alright, EQ, that works. Now, what's Malamar really doing, though?
Spamming superpowers and knockoffs.
Ooh.
Okay.
Alright.
I don't... You burn to protect.
I mean, he's just
But
gonna
what
hit,
else have you done?
he's gonna hit EQ again, right?
It goes for the protect here. Gets
Okay.
back to full.
Okay.
Now you just hit EQ again.
Right. Because, like, really, what switches into EQ?
Nothing.
Yeah, it probably 2-taps Zacian at that HP. Yeah, now you just protect. Because even if something hard switches in, yeah, it's dead. Okay. I'll see.
One down.
Alright, is this where Trick Room's about to happen? Oh, synchronize. That'll reflect.
There's a reflect.
Although,
Now I think Malamar can just come set up to full.
possibly. I mean, Malamar's not toxic yet. I think he's gonna Trick Room.
Is it just full setup Behem? That's done like probably like future sight.
Does Behem get Explosion? He seems like a mon that would get
No.
Explosion.
I don't believe it does.
Malamar coming in. I mean, toxic the thing. Why not? Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna take a long time to build that up to where you're breaking Gliscor, especially when you can protect every other turn.
True.
Man, Gliscor is
Probably
such
got
a
rest.
bastard, isn't he?
I guarantee you this thing's got rest on it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's rest, that's not great.
It's probably rest talk knock superpower.
Is that like the Malamar set?
I believe so. Or you drop talk for psychic move
Like Zen Headbutt?
or psycho cutter.
Alright. Okay, so just based on that calc, at +2 he isn't...
Psycho cut for the crit.
Okay, that's not bad, but even at +2... Oh, U-turn, okay.
U-turn kills.
That's nice.
And now Gren's in, which is
Yeah, and Reflection.
scares the Zacian, even though light screen, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate that it's the light screen that's up.
Right, if he had hit... I guess Light Screen first before Reflect.
I guess now we'll find if the dog comes out. Now we'll find out if it's scarfed or not.
Well, we already know it isn't Scarfed because it switched to hit Sword Stance for one turn.
No, they got the Gren. Did we ever find the item on the ground?
Oh, it's just Sash.
Sash.
That makes sense. Oh, minus attack though. It doesn't matter. Crit.
It's the crit.
Wow, I guess Asian isn't as overpowered as we all thought.
Now, yeah, 2 U-turns end it.
Oh man,
Well, more than 2 U-turns end it.
he
Yeah.
actually ate that.
Yep.
How big is Behem?
Questionably big. I didn't think it'd take that many.
I mean, it wasn't -1 attack, but still.
Alright, we see Shadow Balls, the attacking move.
Yeah, okay, it's 75, 75, 95. Okay, and he's just stalling out the turns. Yeah, one more protect, we get it.
Ready for rest, Behem?
Oh, and there is a narrow victory for our challenger. The 700 Club eats another L.
Very glad to see someone overcome the Uber.
Yeah, that was really fun. Man, had Nigeria just not blinked when Greninja came in, he would have won.
Yeah.
And it would have been like, yeah, this is stupid. Why is this thing allowed? Or why was this thing ever allowed? It's never coming back.
All of us would have been like, why'd we let him do this? Why didn't we make him switch?
But regardless, that will be the last time Zacian is coming to the 700 Club, as it is uber banned.
Goodbye, Zacian. It's been fun knowing you. It was a good last showing.
Yeah, I mean, the ridiculous stat total with the free +1 attack is just too much.
It's just disgusting. And then you throw a Swords Dance on top.
Mm-hmm. What were they thinking, man? Anyway, okay, so Libo's given us some insight. Last minute changed Licky to be Cloud9 in order to fuck up a Solar Blade. That's really funny.
Interesting.
The only downside to that
That is really funny. I don't think
yeah.
that's how Cloud9 works.
No, it would. Cloud9 eliminates weather. It makes it.
Am I thinking Cloud9 makes it so that that's the one Altaria also has, right?
Correct.
It doesn't eliminate weather. It eliminates the effects of weather on that mon.
I thought it was for the entire field.
No, I've sent out an Altaria and not cleared weather before.
Well, no. It doesn't clear weather. It just makes it like there is no weather, but the counter still ticks down like normal. That's my
I'm not sure. That's something I would have to lab.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to elaborate right now, obviously. But
Obviously.
that would have been really fun if Cloud9 Licky came in on Zacian and then like it is forced to charge up a Solar Blade.
Forced to charge, yeah. And like an Escab comes in on it or something.
Yeah, that was a good game. Lots of fun. But anyway, thank you to our competitors. 'Twas a fun match. But we are about to
fun
get
match all around. Well played from both of them.
Yes.
And congratulations to Lebo.
Let's take a look at the playoff picture.
Ooh, baby.
Oh, baby.
We're getting close, boys.
So Jack and I are tied for the first seed with the exact same record and exact same plus.
I didn't realize you were at the exact same plus as well.
Yeah. Manny kind of firmly in the third seed slot, 5-2 plus 23. LCD, fourth seed, 5-2 plus 13. And Lebo, leader of his division, clinching the fifth seed, 4-3 plus 13.
Yeah, a little bit more competition in their two divisions, but right now they are sitting pretty at the top.
So our current wild cards, if we were to start playoffs tomorrow, we would have the wild cards of Jim, Kyle, Dylan, Tristan, James, and Bick in that order. And that would be some fireworks because we would have had Jim versus Bick, James against Kyle, and Dylan Tristan's, which would be pretty crazy matches.
Those would be some very interesting matches to watch.
My favorite out of that potential matchup would be Dylan Tristan because they have both of the Draco fossils.
Ooh.
With Dracovish and Dracozolt.
I would love to see that potential matchup in playoffs.
That could be real fun. But regardless, this is probably going to change in the next 2 weeks, so don't get super attached to it. But let's just say this leaves room for maybe people who are slightly off in seed 12 to 15 or so to step up their game. See it as an open invite.
Yeah, I don't think too many people are too far out of the running right now.
Yeah, there's definitely room for like a 3 and 4 person to put up a really great performance and slide their way in.
Mm-hmm.
We occasionally
we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen before.
Mm-hmm. We definitely have room for like a 4 and 5 potentially to swoop in there as well.
Yeah,
make it in like seed 11 or so, which typically happens. We typically have one person with the losing record making the cut because we allow more than half the league into the playoffs, which is good in my opinion because we love more Pokemon.
I think it's good too. More Pokemon, more battles,
and it gives an extra incentive to actually win your division.
Yep, I think having winning your division, cementing you in the playoffs is very.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Tasty. I am a fan as well.
Yeah, Lebo giving us the insight in the chat that you're in playoff contention as well. You definitely have the record to make it in because I believe you already have a higher plus than Bick, right? Even though you're down one.
I believe so. I had a nice plus on my last win. Let me take a look real quick.
Yeah, you are 3+ ahead of Bick. So you've got plus 11, he's got plus 8, but you are 3 and 4. So you're definitely hot on his heels. But regardless, let's go look at the Conference Cup. So, the Conference Cup standings as they are right now. This is the last week of the Conference Cup, not these totals, by the way. This week of upcoming matches is the last week of the Conference Cup. Everybody's playing a Conference Cup match this week.
Love to see it. Love a big Conference Cup match week.
So,
everything's on the line.
And these positions are definitely not solidified. If, as we're seeing right now, Magnezone is in last place with only 7. If they
out
put
of
up,
the running.
Right. If they put up a 13 score this week like Steelix did, they're in first place. I mean, of course, it necessitates that their higher opponents also need to lose.
Yeah.
But it definitely could happen. We saw a ton of close games this week. We saw 2+0s. Think about that.
Exactly.
Imagine winning for the Conference Cup, but it's only +0, so you don't actually even help. Crazy.
No, I'm done that. I feel like I've cinched a lot of Conference Cup wins at +win. It's not a good feeling.
So yeah, Fortress, our division, Murphy. We're hot on the tails of Metagross, Skarmory, and Steelix. 1 point behind Metagross and Skarmory, who have 13 each. And Steelix with a big ol' 17.
I will say, well, I'm gunning for it this week, so.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
honestly,
very excited.
If you're up against Steelix, you just gotta win at all costs. Don't play for plus, just win. Just win. That's what I always say, is that I tend to not let go of a win if I can, calculate a couple turns ahead and I know I can get like a setup sweeper going.
I agree. I try to play for
sacking
the win. Absolutely. I will disregard my plus count if it means I can close the game.
Yeah, I'm fully on board with that. And none more pertinent than the Conference Cup week. Even though plus matters, I mean, that potential
more.
Plus you're trying to save means nothing if you end up losing the game.
If you lose, yeah.
Just something to keep in mind. But that'll do it. We do not have full King of the Kill data yet. I do know that the first 1 and 2 should be a Raichu with 14 and Omastar with 13. Just based on my recollections of each of their kill counts.
I love seeing Omastar at the top.
I love seeing it too. I gotta find a way to bring it against Chim and get 6 kills.
I believe in you. I genuinely do.
But before we go into the commish picks, let's take a look at the trades and pickups. So, first up, Nigeria dropped Fracture for Linoon. So, yeah, Fracture, the pre-evolution to Haxorus. I really never saw a time where Nigeria might bring this, especially now that he's got Zardex.
It's not my favorite NFE.
But Linoon, on the other hand, super explosive.
Brings some great options, great threats just in team building.
Absolutely. Now, it's not quite as good paired with Lele just because you're potentially taking away your own priority, but terrain only lasts like 4 turns, really, because Lele wastes a turn setting it.
And Linoon is absolutely a pocket mon that you can just hold.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can have all the patience in the world with Linoon. There will be a time for you to be able to bring it in. But that's Nigeria's team. The rosters are also locked this week. That's worth bringing up.
Yep.
So nobody's making any more changes. Next up, we're going to be looking at Rob's team. So Rob made a few changes.
I can see one of them.
So Rob has dropped Type Null for Togetic, but he immediately traded away Togetic to Manny for Kangaskhan. That's a great trade in my opinion, because Type Null is basically a never bring on Rob's team when you've got P2 there, who's a much better EV Light holder. And Kangaskhan can do its own thing. Like it really definitely does not overlap roles.
A great move pool.
Yeah, great. He's got that fantastic Gen 1 coverage. I should say she, because Kangaskhan female.
Oh, true.
Yeah, she's got that great coverage. From being the benefit of being a Gen 1 mod. It's got Scrappy, Fake Out. It's got Sucker Punch.
Yeah, it's been updated nicely because they gave it the Mega Evolution. So they've given it a nice updated move pool as well.
Right. Aliba saying Lanoon straight up shouldn't be 40. I agree.
I think it's a good 60.
And Rob's two other trades and pickups. He has dropped Quagsire and Nihiligo for Ditto and Alomalola.
You'll never catching me dropping Quagsire. Even if I'm losing all season, you'd never catch me dropping Quagsire.
Yeah, Quagsire is very you.
It's just like, yeah, oh, what a beautiful mod.
It's a great wall. And now Rob's losing
Alomomola,
a
also
type.
a beautiful wall. Not a ground type, but similar roles, gives you the wish access. Very, very big wish access.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about Ditto, because I hate Ditto.
I hate Ditto.
I think Ditto's just a brain dead mon who this isn't an insult against Rob.
You slap a scarf on it.
Yeah. I'd say this about anybody who picks up Ditto. It's a brain dead, like, no strategy mon, because there's basically one thing you do with it.
Yeah,
give it a scarf. Hope that they've got like a D-Dance user or something, and then like, haha.
And even if they don't, you just take their biggest sweeper.
Yeah, exactly. And like, worst case scenario, you force a speed tie, so you're like, worst case scenario, it's a 50-50 that you steal their shit. It's like all the onus is on the person prepping Ditto to not get counterswept. It's a very
it's just it's very unfun to prep against, in my opinion.
I agree. But hey, maybe Rob can pull out a cheeky win for the Conference Cup this week with it. Maybe that's what he's got in mind.
Would be interesting to see.
That does it for Rob's team. Let's look at Manny's team. So, like we already said, you got Togetic from Rob. I don't see him ever bringing Togetic, I'm not going to lie.
I don't see it either.
And Manny
He's just got better options. Like, Togetic is just a supremely worse Moltres.
I agree, I think. So Manny also dropped Oricorio for Perugly. Perugly is pretty interesting, right? Doesn't it kind of do the Kangaskhan thing, but like hits less hard, but faster?
It kind of does the Kangaskhan thing, and it kind of does the Skunk Tank thing.
Yeah, well, because it got like
it gets Fake Out, it gets Sucker.
Because I remember I've gotten it in random battles, and it normally has the Silk Scarf.
Yeah.
So it's I'm pretty sure it's a decent tier 5. Like
it's a decent tier 5.
It's pretty fast too, right?
In my opinion, it's very fast, surprisingly fast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be going into the Smogon page for Perugly sets. I'm going off of my random battle experience. But yeah, I guess that gives Manny another in between speed tier. So he's got something between like Latios and Coco.
Yeah, base 112 speed.
Oh, okay. So it's I thought it was like over 120 for some reason. Okay, so not as fast as I thought. Okay, so I don't think that in that case, I don't think it super changes the foundation of Manny's team. Now that I'm thinking about it,
I don't think it changes it that much. I think it's a little bit of a less potent Kangaskhan, but it does a little bit of it different.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for Manny's team. Like, Perugly's not going to be the make or break in a lot of matches. I don't think
so, and I don't think Kangaskhan would have been either.
You still got Zarude, Mega Aggron, Suicune to deal with.
And like Coco, Latios, Moltres.
Big, gross, disgusting threats. Or tanks. Let's look at Dave's team, because Dave did almost a fire sale with his team. I think he has 5 changes, so he dropped...
Yeah, that's a lot.
Regular-ass Swampert, Mega Pidgeot, and Heatran for Vaporeon, Chandelure, and Mega Aerodactyl. But he also traded some stuff away. He traded away G Rapidash and Zeraora to James for Gallade and Mega Venusaur. So he now has
huge change.
Yeah, so he's now got a fighting type with Gallade, right? He doesn't have a fairy type anymore, but you know, as with all of these cores, if you've got most of like the type cores, like Fire, Water, Grass, for example, you don't have to get every single one. You can potentially be dropping one.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need all of them. I've always been a big Chandelure fan. Amazing Z Captain.
That's something I was going to bring up. He's got the double immunity with fire and water, with flash fire and water absorb, with Vaporeon and Chandelure. So that's fun. So Vaporeon's going to be a pretty big pickup for him this week because he's fighting Dracovish.
Oh yeah, no, that is a big pickup, and I think Mega Venusaur is definitely going to help out in that regard as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure Mega Venusaur would eat a banded Strong Just Psychic Fangs.
And then
Not
still
two.
has the Hail Core.
That's right. He does have
Still
the
has
Hail
the
Core.
mini Hail Core.
Dracovish does not also get Slush Rush, only Sand Rush.
Yeah, and I don't think it'd be super appreciative of a pretty big Icicle Crash from Beartic, especially after a Swords Dance.
No, definitely not. And it definitely does not want to freeze dry from Auroras.
No, it does
I mean,
not.
Auroras doesn't want to hang out
Dave
with
plays
fish anyway,
Auroras
but...
quite well. I mean, it gets the T-Wave access as well. So on a Switch.
Yeah, T-Wave, Aurora Veil, Freeze Dry, X. That could be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this changes a lot. He's got quite potent offense now with Mega Aerodactyl and Chandelure. Dragalge also a great offensive presence. I mean, Mega Venusaur does a ton of damage as well.
Yeah, Mega Venusaur does insane damage.
Gallade does a ton of damage as well.
Regular Gallade, a little bit underwhelming to me, but it does a ton in the right conditions.
Yeah, I mean, the 80 base speed is not fantastic for it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit underwhelming in the speed
I forgot to
tier.
switch Dave's card. There we go. I forgot to switch an OBS
Especially
to
on a mon where you kind of want a Swords Dance.
Right. Yeah, I think removal is still kind of a problem for him.
Definitely.
Because, again, another Mega Flyer.
He's a little bit less weak to it. But now you're looking at Chandelure, kind of.
Yeah,
it's
tough.
Boots or the Z Crystal, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Chandelure's a great Z Crystal user. You know, like 145 special attack, either Never Ending Nightmare or Inferno Overdrive.
I've drafted Chandelure many a time and almost always made it my Z Captain.
Yeah, because doesn't it also get Plot?
It gets Plot, it gets Solar Beam, so you can pop a Z Boom Doom off.
Yeah, so not even the waters can switch in. That's nice.
It gets like Psychic as well.
Yeah.
It gets some very fun coverage moves.
Yeah, I think Chandelure is a great mon. I'm curious to see how Dave uses it. I mean, he's doubling up on a ghost type, but again, not really stepping on each other's toes in terms of role, because Sableye is much different.
In the slightest.
So this will be interesting. I'm excited to see what Dave does with this fire sale of a team in the last 2 weeks.
I'm definitely interested in his changes.
All right, next up, we're looking at James. So, James, as we said, has already traded with Dave, and he now has Zeraora and G Rapidash after losing Mega Venusaur and who was the other one? Gallade.
I genuinely don't hate them on this team.
Yeah,
I think you're doubling up on the fairy.
Yeah, you're doubling up on the fairy, but that's not that big of a deal. I mean, his team overall is much faster with Zeraora being like 143, right? And G Rapidash is 105. So, I mean, both of those are a big step up. And I think James also benefits that his team's more offensive now.
I agree.
We saw that doesn't necessarily...
It was either something it needed to lean into a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily needed it, but again, he's got more offensive options. So, let's look at our second to last change. Jim. Jim has dropped Arctivish for Decidueye.
Arctivish for Decidueye.
Yeah. He's got a ghost now, and he's got two grass types now.
Ghost.
Okay. Not much to say there. I'm curious.
Yeah, I like Decidueye. It's kind of meh tier for speed, but
yeah, it gets some fun stuff. Like, doesn't it get a trapping move?
Yeah, its signature move is a trapping move, I believe.
Yeah, Spirit Shackle, that's what it is.
It gets some nice physical moves.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine mon. I think it's
a fine mon. I don't think it's a bad
in the
change.
60 tier. Like, not super exciting, but also not bad.
Yeah, I agree. And like
Get
kind of
synth.
whelming
That's fun.
change to the team. It works.
Yeah, and I don't think Jim has brought Arctivish at all.
No, I think he drafted it as a counter.
Yeah, because he's in the Dracovish division.
Hmm.
So, last change. We've got Mike, who has dropped Megamanetric and Guzzlord for Jolteon and Crook. So, swapped out his Fast Electric for a Fast Electric, and he swapped out Guzzlord for Crook. So, he now has another ground type, one that's not the
Another
trio.
ground type, still big dark type.
Yeah, Mike loves Crocodile too, so
I also love Crocodile.
yeah, I mean Intim rocks knockoff,
Moxie.
Moxie, yeah. Great scarf user.
Great band user.
Yeah, I mean it's just a solid mon. I'm surprised Mike. Oh, okay, yeah, he dropped Mega Manetric. I was like, he really had the budget to pick up Crook, but he dropped Mega Manetric, so that makes sense.
Mm. And then Jolteon, kind of a one-trick pony, but it does the job. Same thing as Mega Man Extra. It runs the same four moves in each shot.
Yeah, I mean Jolteon.
Does the
It
fast
doesn't get
volt switch. It does
flamethrower
the
or
fast key
overheat.
bolt. Yeah, but it doesn't get the fire move. I think its coverage is pretty minimal. It gets like the shadow ball.
Yeah, it gets like Weather
I
Ball
think
and Hyper
signal
Voice.
beam.
Yeah, it does get Signal Beam. That's right.
Oh,
But
it
yeah,
does get hyper voice. I forgot.
I mean it only has like 115 special attack. I want to say, so it's not.
Yeah,
It's
I've
modest. It's a.
drafted Jolteon. I was whelmed by it. It's a decent mon. It definitely does what it's supposed to do,
Mm-hmm.
which is fast pivot.
Yeah, and Mike has great answers to ground types anyway with Volcanion and Tapu Bulu.
And Olu, yeah.
So yeah, I think he's doing fine. He'll probably get some use out of it this week. I imagine a lot of the people are thinking about their match
A lot of
this
ground
week.
immunities on his team as well.
Yeah, that's true. Volt Absorb, two ground types.
Two
Yeah, not bad.
levitate users.
Yep, yep.
Three? Does the bug get levitate as well?
Orbital. I don't know if Orbital gets levitate. I imagine it does. It looks like a levitate. I am looking right now. Orbital. No, it gets Frisk.
Ah,
Yeah, I knew. I mean, I knew it got Frisk because I'd seen it before, but I wasn't sure if it just got
I didn't know what its
Levitate.
other ability was.
Yeah, its other abilities are Swarm and Telepathy.
Gotcha.
Okay, well that does it for trades and pickups. So let's get our butts over to the commish picks. And Murphy, you're going to have to look at the doc for this because I can't both share my screen and
That is all
type
good.
into the commish picks doc at the same time.
No
So
worries.
first up, I got myself against Jim. I obviously am obligated to pick myself. But I mean, Jim's team is super scary.
We are going into a conference cup week, and as
Mm-hmm.
scary as Jim's team is, you know that I gotta be corrupt and vote for the boy. So I will be putting Drac.
Oh hell yeah, picking the division, homie. I like it.
You gotta.
But yeah, I mean, Jim's team is obviously like super strong. Pelipper is really bulky and resilient, especially with like those 100% accurate hurricanes, the boosted scalds, U-turn roost, defog.
Yep, no, I definitely agree.
Swampert, uh, in the rain is faster than everything on my team. So that's
It's faster than everything, that's terrifying.
yeah. Um, so that's a problem. I mean, G Zapdos obviously just hits super hard, but also Slowbro kind of walls it, so I'm not like losing sleep over G Zapdos. But I mean, I'm not gonna not prep for it, but I have some comfortable answers for it. I feel. Um, but yeah, I'm not obviously not gonna talk super in depth about what I have in store for Jim because Jim's
Yeah,
probably
no,
gonna
don't want to give it
watch
all
this,
away.
right? So we both picked me. That's great. Next up,
Sorry, Jim.
we got the Battle of the Brothers, Tristan against Kyle.
Oh boy, De Silvas.
So, the first thing I'm noticing looking at these two lineups, what in the world switches into Dracozolt? It's pretty much just Lantern, right?
It, yeah, I don't think Doublade really wants it.
Nope. I mean, Doublade has great defense, but even with the Eviolite, but then like
I,
a potential banded hustle.
yeah,
And if Tristan just predicts like the Volt Absorb Lantern is coming in and he hits Outrage probably two taps Lantern.
I can see that happening as well. And then like Hatterene really doesn't want the.
Definitely doesn't want the Bulk
Oh
Beak, especially
God,
since if you swap your Fairy type into
into the outrage, you're
right, you
unlocking
unlock
them.
him. So
So unless he's choice locked, like
it's tough. It's real
yeah, that
tough.
is a very tough matchup for Kyle.
Yeah. I mean, this is all without even mentioning like potentially a
Koopa
setup
covers
Scizor.
all of those potential tanks as well.
Yeah, like how is Kyle gonna get over like Hippowdon and Umbreon? Because I really don't see what
Yeah,
combo of Mons is gonna take care of both of them. Because I don't think Roserade really does that great against Umbreon,
it
but
doesn't.
it does okay against
It
Hippo.
does okay against Hippo. Same with Lantern. Lantern does like okay against Hippo.
But it doesn't want that EQ back. Ugh, it's so
Like
tough.
same with Barbaracle. Like it doesn't want. None of them want the EQ back.
Yeah, like maybe Kyle could set up Barbaracle before Dracozolt gets a chance to go off. That could be really good. I mean, Barbaracle's
That
got
would be
great
very good. Yeah,
defense.
Barbaracle's got.
So even if it smashes, it's probably living the bullet punch pretty healthy.
Yeah, I can see it staying above 50 on the bullet, or not above 50, but probably in like the middle health range from the bullet punch at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for Kyle. So I'm sure,
I think I
and
got to
I'm
give it to
sure our
Tristan
audience
on
can
this one.
guess by the way we're talking about this. I'm voting for
Yeah,
Tristan.
myself as well.
All right. Next up, we got LCD against Mike. All right, so let's look at Mike's changes with Crook and Jolteon against LCD. I'm starting to think that this was not a change made with the intention of like for his upcoming immediate match. It was just a general
No,
quality
I
of
think it was
life
a
change.
general QOL change. Yeah, I don't see the changes necessarily being.
I think Crook does fine here. Like you can knock off Laddie, you can knock off Slowbro, you can EQ a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I don't
However, I mean,
think
Slowbro still probably lives in Rock.
Jolteon's doing super well. I like Jolteon in a hidden power league.
Yeah, I think the fast electrics are the things that got nerfed the hardest with Hidden Power
Yeah.
Ban. But I mean, there's also that trade-off. Like, if it's already a fast electric, it's faster than most things.
Hmm.
Does it really need that? So, always playing that game. I mean, this is gonna be pretty tough because Mike has a really strong squad, and so does LCD. Bulu
I
is
think,
another thing that can super duper get in the way.
yeah, it is. Um,
I think I'm gonna.
I think I like
Oof.
LCD's squad.
I think I'm gonna pick Mike. I'll pick Mike. Mike always picks himself, except for this week when Murphy's picking. I think Mike will pull out some juice.
Her option. Mike's probably seething that I didn't pick himself.
Yeah, if Mike can get ahead with a good either predictions or just slamming a strong move, then
I
he
can
can
see
get
him
ahead.
pulling it out.
Because like his pivot is right, just like Torn and Slowbro with U-turn and TP, and then like maybe more Pico and Thwacky with parting shot and U-turn. But I don't see them as particularly reliable in terms of pivot.
Hmm. Also, I hate to speed us up, but I very much so have to walk my dog. So,
Okay, we'll go over to the next battle. Jack against Nigeria. All right, so I mean, Excadrill is going to be faster than that +1
Yeah.
Zardex. Jack's also been playing out of his mind, and so is Nigeria, ever since Nigeria
Jack's
made
been
those
playing out of his
changes.
mind. Nigeria just played out of his mind, and then he made those changes. I'm interesting to see what those changes bring.
Hmm.
I mean, you've always got Linoon with the extreme speed. Not that it hits Excadrill super hard, but
Hmm.
always the potential to squeak out that low HP win.
Yeah, I don't know if LA needs to bring this week just because T-Tarts, brings sand to chip you, so you can't really do focus sash stuff. Um, well, I guess you couldn't either anyway with a belly drum set, but whatever. You don't want to be extreme speeding Garchomp. Uh, I this is tough. I think I'm going to give it to Jack though.
I want to give it to Nigeria.
All right. Then let's go over to the next battle. Dylan against Dave. I mean, I gotta pick Dave. Dave,
I also am obligated to pick Davis here.
awesome. So I really like Dave's changes going into Dylan actually.
I do as well. I think Chandelure is a really good bring here.
Yeah, I think all of
Come here,
his changes
Milo.
are really good brings actually.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I mean, Vaporeon obviously is great against Dracovish. Mega Venusaur is honestly probably lives a Psychic or Psyshock from guard and then just claps back with that Sludge Bomb. So that seems really
It
good.
claps back with the Sludge Bomb. I think Mega Arrow is a great bring.
Yeah, Mega Arrow seems really, really good. You do risk potentially losing Tough Claws to Reneragus.
Yeah, but like even against Mega Guard,
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, we both picked Dave. He's our division homie. I really like his pickups against Dylan. I think a big thing is going to be Rabombi slowing his whole team down. Maybe he could get some
yeah.
counter webs action with Shuckle.
Counterwebs with the Chuckle would be very interesting to see.
So next up, we both picked Dave. Lebo against Bick. This will be a fun one.
This will be a fun one, and this is I gotta go Bick here.
Yeah, I gotta pick Bick. Like, don't get me wrong, Lebo, you're a homie. But
Milo.
this is Conference Cup we're talking about. Conference Cup is on the line.
It is on the line.
Um, yeah, Gliscor is kind of a polarizing mon against Bick because I think a lot of stuff does really well against it, but a lot of stuff doesn't do much against it. Like, okay, Drapion is going to do nothing against Gliscor, right? Neither is like Breloom or a Golem, right? But, or even Zagard for that matter. But like, you have potentially like Cinderace with Libero
Yeah.
doing some stuff. Obviously,
I
Glalie is
agree.
great. Scarf Togekiss could do some damage to Gliscor. Like, all this stuff are. It's Gliscor's just a really polarizing mon. That's all there is to say.
No, absolutely.
And dude, we've got like the two Protean users going against each other.
They're right against each other.
Oh
And
man.
Glisk is arguably, or sorry, Gren is arguably the winner of that matchup.
Yeah, that's true because he is faster. So we see Scarf Protean versus Scarf Protean. That could be fun.
Yeah, I will be entertained by this. I'm rooting for Lebo as much as I'm rooting for Big. This will be a fun match to watch.
Yeah. You just gotta understand, Lee, but we're contractually obligated to pick our division mate. Next up, we got Thomas against Rob. Okay, so
Oh, I think
Ditto,
I'll pick Thomas just off the bat.
I'm picking Thomas, but Ditto could do some stuff. I'm
It
not
could
gonna
do some
lie.
stuff. I hate Ditto.
Like Ditto
That's
just
the thing. Ditto can
steals
do stuff in every game.
right, like say it steals a Swords Dance from Pinsir, it steals a D-Dance Hydreigon, it steals a Plot Gengar, it steals an
It's
Agility
game over.
Blaziken.
It's game over at that point.
Yeah, like Ditto is honestly disgusting against Thomas. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Thomas can't bring any of his setup, genuinely.
That being said, I'm picking Thomas.
Yeah, me as well.
Um,
Sorry, Rob.
Yeah, sorry, Rob. Rob has a tendency to just kind of let stuff die sometimes, and I think that
Yeah.
becomes his undoing a lot. Next up, Hunter against M1. So this is
They
interesting.
both have interesting teams.
Yeah. it's kind of tough to say who's the winner. Aerodactyl seems like it does exceptionally well here, minus
Yeah,
Mudsdale.
minus Mudsdale and
Comfey,
I don't know how
Comfey could
Comfey
also be a
does
little
against it.
awkward.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I mean, I don't think Draining Kiss is probably like Okoing, for example. Or it's,
And then
I guess
depending on the
Bulky is
Rotom
probably like a
set, I
four
don't know
tap.
that Stone Edge is gonna one tap.
Yeah, that's true. Because even base Rotom can be built quite tanky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it gets Earthquake for Copperage, but Copperage is big.
Yeah, Copperage is very big.
I don't think we've seen Hunter Bringstone Journer.
We haven't seen him, but like depending on the set, it could either be like very physically bulky or not at all.
Yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, it's interesting.
I think I like
Let's-
M1 squad a bit
I think I do
more
too.
in this matchup.
I think if M1 gets out hazards early, that can be a big problem because Comfey is really okay. Comfey and Rotom are the defoggers, right?
Yeah, and
It's
they
kind of
don't
tough to slot.
necessarily
Yeah.
appreciate M1's hazard setters. Like Comfy doesn't want to be in on Pharaoh.
Yeah, Pharaoh just hardwalls Comfey with no hidden power, and I don't think Rotom
I don't
really
think
does
Rotom really
much.
wants to be there either. It doesn't really do much.
I guess it can stab Shadow Ball.
It can Willow.
Meloette is also a big issue for Hunter as well because I mean you
Yeah.
can't even hit Shadow Ball against it. I
Yeah,
think
no,
I'm
I
going
can
with
definitely
M1.
see M1 pulling this one.
I'm picking M1.
I'm also gonna pick M1.
As much as I like Hunter's squad, I think M1's team actually deals with it pretty well, despite
Pretty
M1's
well,
weird
yeah.
ass speed tiers.
And yeah, like you said, I think if hazards come out early and he's good at keeping the pressure there,
It could spell disaster for Hunter. And maybe we'll finally see an Azumarill sweep.
that would be nice. We haven't really seen it pop off in quite some time.
All right. Next match, your match against James. I'm picking you.
You know I'm picking me.
All right. Last match. No, we'll say a few words about it. Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
Ludicolo actually does pretty well here.
Looking pretty decent.
Unaware
Unaware
Clefable.
Clefable scares me.
Yeah. But I mean, you've got really good answers to Clefable with like Mawile, Nidoking. Even like a potential. Well, no, I think Clefable still eats like that Rain Hydro Pump from Ludicolo.
Oh, it absolutely eats it. I don't want to give too much away, but we're definitely gonna work out some answers. Clefable's definitely high on
Clefable's a
the
bastard.
priority target list. Yeah.
Clefable's always a bastard. All right. Last match for real now. Manny against Sheej. All right.
I
now,
really love Sheej's team.
Yeah, I do too. I think if trying to think like maybe what kind of setup Dragapult can do against Manny's squad. If it's like sub like Calm Mind, Shadow Ball, Draco.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it definitely needs the ghost move.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue for Dragapult in this matchup. It needs a ton of moves. Like
Yeah.
Draco and Shadow Ball do cover everything. However, you're potentially putting yourself like it to be like counter swept or something if you like say kill Zarude with Draco Meteor, right?
Yeah.
So that's an issue. I mean, Steelix deals with Zarude pretty well, to be honest. Honestly, Steelix is a great answer for a Raichu, even though it's the Fizzidef one, Mon.
Yeah, like you're always gonna be scared of the Z fighting, but
Oh, that's right. It is the Z Captain. It's off in the corner there. I keep missing it. This is tough though. I mean, Manny's got like great switch-ins to everything and like a ton of sustain on his side of the field.
this is quite a tough pick. I think
Oh, this is really tough.
I think I'm leaning Sheej.
Oh, I'm like leaning Manny, but it's tough. This is gonna be a very combative
This is gonna be
match.
a very combative match.
I think
This will be a tight one.
Are you staying strong with Sheej?
Lock me Sheej, yeah.
All right. So there you have it. Those are our commish picks for week 8, the Conference Cup week. Now, before we sign off and Murphy goes to walk his dogs, we've only got one more thing left to address. Murphy,
Yes,
as
sir.
the co-host of this Inside the PFL Season 15, Week 8, is this the most important week of the season?
You bet your ass that this is the most important week of the season.
You heard it from him. You bet your ass. The Conference Cup's going to be decided this week. Who is getting free rolled into the next season? Because you get that juicy $5 payout.
Every single
each of the
division
winners.
in the running for the Conference Cup
Yeah.
winnings.
Unironically, I know it's like cliche to say like, oh, there could be a comeback, but there literally could be a comeback. Let me go back to the Conference Cup, right? As we're just seeing, we have a 0 and a 13. You just switch those values, and all of a sudden, Magnazone's in the lead, right?
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, just like that. Dust off the hands, they've done it.
Everyone, pull up your suspenders. Get ready for a big week.
Buckle in for a huge week. That does it for this Inside of the PFL. Thank you all for watching.